Gary Evans had always wanted to play on golf's biggest stage, and on a surreal Sunday afternoon during the final round of the 131st Open Championship, the English journeyman played a starring role in one of the great final rounds of the tournament's history. 12 months since that momentous day at Muirfield, Evans is back to strolling the fairways of the world as a relative unknown, hiding a story of hardship familiar to many who've attempted to forge a living out of the game they love. After turning pro 11 years ago, in 1994, Evans discovered he'd been playing with a broken left wrist for 2 years. It was an injury he initially sustained from a bunker shot, and after a wrist reconstruction, he went through a period of soul-searching as his game suffered.
Someone want to putt for me?
I was £50,000 in debt in end of '96, and definitely thought about doing something else. I mean, I just couldn't play the game, and it was very depressing. And I had a family at the time, and which was, it was a lot of pressure. But fortunately, sometimes you find out really how much sort of guts you've got, and you find a way through it. And like I say, I've worked hard the last few years, and thankfully come out the other side.
Following surgery, Evans' game started to fall into place over the next 5 years, posting numerous top 10 finishes. But while that elusive win seemed just around the corner, it never came.
I can't say that in the 11 years that I've been a pro that I've had 11 years of good chances to win. I mean, you can count out 6 or 7 years where I just haven't been capable of competing at the highest level. Definitely the last 2 years I've given myself a lot more opportunity.
So when Evans appeared on the front page of the leaderboard during the final round of last year's Open Championship, many expected him to only catch a glimpse of golf's holy grail. After surviving a difficult 3 days in which the Scottish elements threw everything at the field, Evans managed to start the final round 6 shots off the pace, and on reflection, he admits to feeling overwhelmed as he whittled away at the lead.
Well, there's another. What a remarkable card. He's right in the thick of it, just won off the lead in the championship.
Where it hit me was I birdied probably 5 holes on the front 9. I was going along really nicely. I hit it onto the front right edge at 10. I left myself, it was a massive putt. It had to be 80 foot.
Now that is absolutely amazing.
And it suddenly hit me. Crush, you've got to be close to the lead now. I didn't look at any leaderboards. And I said to Dominic, my caddy, I walked over to him and I said, what the hell's going on? And he says, just keep doing it, just keep doing it.
Heeding his caddy's advice, the very next hole Evans had a chance to take sole possession of top spot.
Hard through 13, 14, and I knew that I was very close at that point.
At 7 under through 15 holes, it appeared Evans' phenomenal run had come to an end at 16. Hitting his tee shot short on the par 3, he left himself with a daunting chip to get up and down for par. He was riddled with nerves during the chip that followed, but this was no ordinary round, and anything seemed possible.
Oh, great shot, he's made it. Go!
The really funny thing is, when I was walking off that green, I was shaking like a leaf. I knew I was right there. And in the replay, as I've seen it, Alex Hay, one of the commentators, says, and this boy looks so calm. And I thought, how wrong could you be? I was in pieces.
2 holes to go and Evans' wild ride had almost come to an end. But what followed will go down in British Open folklore.
I really felt that if I got the drive away at 17, I had a great chance of winning.
That he did, but his second to the par 5 was less convincing, shooting left into the gnarly rough.
I think that he got a little bit anxious at the top of his backswing there.
I pulled it. It was a good 20 yards offline, but the rough up there was pretty thick. But it was right down the line of the spectators, so I felt certain that it would be found comfortably before I got anywhere near the ball.
But as time ticked over, Evans' worst fears were realised, and his face went from concerned to perplexed to disbelief as it became apparent his ball might not be found.
Heartbreaking for the young man.
Dozens of spectators helped Evans search for his ball, but to his disappointment, there were some less willing to help.
Listen, come on. Jeez, you've got enough pictures of me looking for ball. Come on. Look down, don't look at me.
There was a lot of press up there, and they were all throwing lenses in my face, you know, trying to obviously get the shot. And it was a kind of frustrating because, I mean, obviously it was the most important point in my life. And, you know, I felt that, you know, the picture that they could have taken with me an hour later holding a claret jug would have been a lot more important than the one me trying to find a ball.
Did anyone ever find it?
No idea. If they have, they haven't come forward.
Yeah.
It was a tight list too, with a little black spot between the name and the number as well, just in case anyone finds it.
After 5 minutes, rules officials told Evans his time was up and to head back to where he'd hit his second.
One of the longest and loneliest walks in the game.
My caddy did a great thing. I said, give me the forward and a ball.
I said, no. He said, just give me the forward and a ball. I said, no, I'm coming back. And then one of the R&A guys was in a buggy, he said, we'll give you a lift. I said, no, we'll walk. Just get the mind just set again.
And he wouldn't let me within range to pull the club out of the bag. And he walked all the way back with me and kept talking to me, which was a really great thing to do in hindsight.
Hitting his fourth after a penalty drop, again he pulled out the forward, but this time he struck it pure, leaving himself some 20 metres from the hole. Mentally drained, he now had to gather his thoughts as he attempted one of the greatest pass saves in Open history.
I know this is kind of strange, but I mean, I was struggling to breathe. I mean, the tension was that bad and my mouth was so dry. And I got the other side of the hole lining the putt up and I took a couple of deep breaths.
And he said to me, I'm going to hole this, you know that, don't you? I said, I do, yeah. I believe you will hole it.
That's one of the most courageous things any of us have ever seen.
The noise that the crowd made, you know, it's something that I know I might even sound excited about it now, but it's like nothing you can believe when it's your kind of dream coming true. You know, it was just an incredible feeling.
That was for you, Mum.
Well done.
Good on you, Evo.
You dedicated that putt to your mum. Do you still dedicate it to your mum?
You know, my father died, you know, 10 years ago, and my mother, you know, it's just my mum and me, and I knew she'd have been in pieces watching me lose the ball, and it just came out.
The roller coaster ride, though, was far from over as he played the last, and after finding the rough from the tee and then the grandstand with his second, it was beginning to look like the start of a dramatic collapse.
Oh dear. Oh no. We've seen this before, haven't we? This is beginning to become reminiscent of Carnoustie.
Each shot was fraught with danger, and after a nervy chip drifted an agonising distance past the hole, Evans was a wreck, needing to make the putt to salvage a bogey and at least maintain his share of the lead at 5 under.
I remember marking the ball and putting the ball back, and my caddy standing behind me and saying, "Come on, son, knock it in." And I looked up at the hole and I was shaking so badly I thought, there is absolutely no way I can hold this.
It's a brave putt, but it's a 5.
The relief, the just release of tension was just immediate. You know, it was over. For me, that point in time was the most precious thing.
When Australia's Stuart Appleby holed his putt on the last to get to 6 under, Evans' hopes of holding aloft the claret jug had come to an end. And after eventual winner Ernie Els beat 3 others in a playoff, it was time to ponder what might have been.
The most disappointing thing was being that close and not getting any exemptions to any majors this year, because if I'd have finished top 4 of the British Open, you get automatic exemptions. Because 4 guys tied, I don't get anything.
What Evans has gained from his experience at Muirfield is the self-belief that he can mix it with the world's best. And while that maiden win continues to elude him, he remains philosophical about his chances.
Can't have a good day every day, can you?
You never know what's around the corner with this game. You might open up with a bogey, double bogey start, reel off 6 birdies in the next 8 holes. You just never know with this game. Just keep trying, be patient, and just remember it's only a game.